All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your day to learn about the Common App and just feel prepared. Um, this is a Common App Ready presentation where we're going to go over a few things and I'll talk about all of that. But first, a little bit about me. So this is the team that makes up the student success team here at Common App. So Common App has many different teams, many that work through the application, but ours focuses on the student engagement aspect of the Common App's initiative and mission. So I'm the senior program manager for student engagement. What that means is I engage with students nationwide, build out resources, and work as a student expert at Common App to help make sure that students' voices are heard throughout the process so we can update everything as needed. Before joining Common App, I worked in higher education myself for a few years in residence life and student activities. So I bring that background to how I approach the application in my work here. So today's Common App Ready presentation will talk about the Common App community. It will go through the application, the different sections of the application, what to expect, and I'll explain each one of them in a little bit more detail. We'll talk about a bunch of different tools that you can use to help you fill out the application. And then we'll answer any questions you have at the end. I mean, if a question is specific to something I'm talking about, please feel free to come off mute or put it in the chat. I cannot see the chat, but please feel free to come off mute at any time so I can answer your question. All right, so we're going to dig into this. We'll spend about the next 30 minutes or so talking about all of this material, and then I'll open it up at the end. But so going into the Common App community, if you have not heard of Common App or the Common Application before, it's an online application that makes applying to college easy. It's one application that you can fill out to use to apply to over almost 1,100 colleges now. So this really streamlines the process for you to make it easy and time consuming and just make it super organized so everything is all in one place. Like I was saying, we have almost 1,100 colleges. On our application, you can also fill out your information, update all of that at any time. But we also have a bunch more than just an application. Common App is a resource hub for you all as student and educators. So we have additional resources. Some include financial aid and scholarships. We also have resources that are visual that talk about how to write your college essay, how to find the best fit for you, which we'll talk about in a second. But I'll go through all of this today. But just know that Common App is much more than just an application. Little fun fact here is that each year, more than 1 million students, a third of whom are first generation, apply to college through Common App. So this is 1 million students using the Common App to submit an application. This is a lot of people. But there are millions more that do not end up submitting an application. Many more create an account and don't end up following through with that because they feel that they may not have the resources or the preparedness. And this is what we're trying to help with this presentation, is to get you to submit your application to see the opportunities you'll have for yourself from high school. All right, so if you hear me talk about members or anything like that, please know that I'm just talking about colleges or universities. I'm going to try to not to use the word member. That's just the internal word that we use. But so we have almost 1,100 colleges and universities on the Common App application. This will increase every year as new colleges join. But 307 of them are public members. 566 of them have no application fee whatsoever. So almost have no application fee. We cover 50 US states, including DC and Puerto Rico. And we have 56 international members across 18 countries. Outside of the US, that is. So a lot of options there for you. So one of the resources I want to talk about before we get started in this process of how to find the college for you and how to apply is one of our resources called the Reach Pathfinder. So the Reach Pathfinder is our recommended roadmap to help you find the best fit for yourself. It breaks down that college application process. It helps you really find your fit because when you're at college, you're of course there to get good grades, to get a degree, and to learn. But you are going to spend a lot of time outside of the classroom as well. So how are you going to use that time? How are you going to get involved? How are you going to make friends? And how are you going to make the most out of your college experience? So this Pathfinder here, we kind of break down the process into 5 different stages. And if you take out your phones and scan the QR code, later on, I'll also put the link in the chat for you if you'd like to view that on your computer. But we break it down into 5 sections. So research, explore, apply, confirm, and hone. So if you're a junior, you're probably in the research and explore phase. If you're a senior, maybe you've already completed the R and the E and you're working on the apply, confirm, and hone. But here is how it's broken down. So under research, you have the different types of matches that you should look into when you're trying to find the best fit for yourself. Look into student support services. Do you know what a combined degree program is? If not, take a few minutes to look into that and see if that's something that would benefit you. What type of institution do you want to go to? Does that matter to you? Then moving into the explore phase, where you're going to start to look at the clubs and organizations on campus, things outside of the classroom. How many students are on campus? What are the class sizes? How many teachers to student ratio? The housing. Where am I going to be living? You'll go on campus tours possibly and see the nicest building on campus, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to live there your first year. What does the alumni network look like? What are the connections post-graduation to help you get jobs? And if you're a first-generation student, what is the first-gen support on campus? As you're applying, this is when you need to focus on all of the materials that you need. So the recommendation letters, the transcript, the FAFSA, your application platform, the Common App, but then also understanding what early action versus early decision is. Then you move into the confirm phase, where you're going to talk about costs more. You're going to review the budget to make sure it's affordable to you. You understand your loans, your award letters, and all of that. This is also when you're going to start to make your decision and decide what orientation program you're going to go to really get a feel for on campus. And then hone. Hone is all about once you've accepted, once you've moved in, how are you going to get involved? How are you going to feel a part of the community? So this is joining, clubs, organizations, participating in welcome activities, staying organized, getting to know your faculty and staff is very important, but really just establishing community in and outside the classroom. So like I was saying, you can scan this QR code to download this. Once you scan it, it turns into 13 pages. Like I said, every section is defined, every bullet is defined. It's also available in Spanish. When I went to college, I was a first-generation student myself. I really wish I had this to talk to my parents about because as I asked questions, they weren't very familiar with a lot of the terminology. So this would have helped bridge that barrier a little bit more. And as you go through this entire presentation, but also as you go through your college search process and finding your fit, it's important to record what you find. So make sure that you know the differences between the schools so you can weed out some, highlight others. How you do this is totally up to you. You could use an Excel or Google spreadsheet, pen and paper, a college workbook. Maybe your school and counseling offices have some resources available to you. But then there's always your phone, the note section, or whatever else works for you. Now we're going to go into approaching the different parts of the application and talk about them a little bit more in detail. So if you go to commonapp.org, this is what you're going to see. This is the home page. You'll see the little button there at the bottom that says start your application or create an account. The find a college tab is where you can explore different colleges. So out of the almost 1,100 colleges, you can explore them. You can pinpoint it to a certain area if you want to stay within an hour of home, or if you're looking at a specific state, or you want to go across the country. You can narrow that down all in the Find Colleges tab. There's planning for college resources. There's applying to college resources. And there's also support for students. So when you click that support for students, everything there is for you. So they may be labeled as like counselor resources, but at the end of the day, they're all for families. They're all for students that are using the application. A few years ago, we got a lot of questions of, does Common App have an app? So now we have the Common App app. So iOS or Android, you can download that and you can do anything on the app that you can do on your computer. You could even do your entire application on your phone if you wanted to. Don't recommend it, but it's totally possible. But the app gives you another option just to kind of stay updated, to get push notifications of your applications, and to do things on the go if need be. So creating a Common App account is very quick, very easy, and it's free. So there's 4 simple steps, and I'm gonna explain this, but if you could take a minute, I'd highly recommend that you create an account right now really quickly on your phone or your computer. It takes 2 minutes. So step 1 is to scan that QR code or search the link below. And then you'll go to this page here on the right where you see Let's Get Started. If you're in high school and you're going to college for the first time, you're most likely clicking first year student. Unless you're going from a college to a college, you would be clicking transfer student. So you select the account that best represents you. So in this case, first year student. And then you're going to enter your personal information, your name, your email, your address, a few other little questions, and then your account is created. Once that is all in there, you can then go into your profile and add a bunch more information, as much as you want there, and build out your profile. But that's all you need to start the account and to start exploring the site, the colleges, and all the resources available to you. So I'll give you another minute just to do that, but highly recommend creating the account and starting to explore. I'll talk about this a little bit more, but if you create an account now, say if you're a junior, it's never too early to start creating your account and building your college list and start doing all of that stuff, because every year, all of that information is going to roll over. So your account login, it will be good this year, it will be good next year, it will be good the year after that. I'll talk about in a few more slides of what doesn't roll over, but you're perfectly fine to create your application now and to start saving colleges there. So I mentioned account rollover. It happens every year on August 1st. But like I said, you do not have to wait to create your account. A freshman can create an account. Sophomore, junior, senior, it does not matter. Your username and password will always remain the same. What rolls over is your college list. So if you're already adding 3, 4, 5, 10 colleges to your list, those are going to stay with you. You're not going to have to find them again. Those will always be in your list. You will be the one to add them or remove them from your list at any time. Any questions that you answer on the Common App tab, so relating to your profile, education, activities, course and grades, family, testing, and writing, all of that information will roll over. You will not have to resubmit that year after year. And then if you've already invited any advisors to your application, those will remain the same too. Important to know that what does not roll over is anything on your My Colleges tab. So these are the college-specific questions that are not related to the Common App application, which I'll talk about that more in a little bit as well. Your FERPA release authorization, and then any recommender invitations. So for your counselors, teachers, or other recommenders. But I wouldn't recommend doing this until after August 1st anyway, or until your senior year. But the rest you can do at any point. All right, so we're going to talk about application fees a little bit here, because application fees are a big barrier to preventing students to pursue higher education. They could be $20, they could be $50, they could be $250. But on Common App's platform, we have 566 colleges who charge no application fee. So that's a very large number and a lot of opportunity there where there's no barrier when it comes to fees. When you're filling out the application, it will ask if you are eligible for a fee waiver. If you click yes, that means that you're not going to pay a dime to apply to any of the colleges on your list. The eligibility criteria is right here listed. So if you receive an ACT or SAT fee waiver, if you are in a free or reduced lunch program at school, if your annual family income is within the eligibility guidelines, or that you participate in a federal, state, or local program, and then everything else is listed there as well. So all you have to do is be eligible for one of those in order to receive fee waivers for all of your applications. So a lot of money has been saved so far, almost $133 million in granted fee waivers. So it does not hurt to look into that and to use those. I mentioned the first year application a few moments ago, but this is what that first year application looks like. So this is a screenshot of a fake profile, but we're going to start with the Common App tab there, which is highlighted in green. And the Common App tab is where you're going to complete the main sections of your application. So that Common App tab is the Common App application portion. You'll see there that it has your profile, your family, your education. And as you complete different categories, you'll see the green check marks there to let you know that all of that is submitted. So that is really important there. It really streamlines the process, makes it super organized for you. You also have other tabs. So you have the dashboard, which is kind of just like the hub of your account to kind of get updates to see what needs to be done. Any push notifications or reminders will be there. Your My Colleges tab, left of the highlighted section, that's where your college list is. So any college that you add to your profile that you're interested in applying to, that's where they're going to be, but we'll talk about that. Your college search process will have more information there, and financial aid will also have some information on that tab. So on the Common App application, there is a writing section. So it's a 650 word limit for an essay, a personal essay that helps you share a little bit about yourself, share your voice, and really gives the college a chance to see you outside of just an application and numbers. This gives you a chance to tell them what you want to know, why you want to go there, why you're going to make a difference, why you'd be an amazing fit at their college. So you can choose from 7 different essay prompts, and they're all here. These did not change from last year. They all remain the same. So you can write about personal growth, facing adversity, background, identity, interest, or talent, intellectual curiosity, challenging an idea, gratitude, or a topic of your choice. So that last essay prompt right there, topic of your choice, opens up the door to anything that you can write about. But these are the prompts for the upcoming year. But it's also never too early to just start a Word doc or Google Doc and start brainstorming this out now. Start drafting it, write it, step away from it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Come back to it when you need it, edit it, see if it still matches what you're trying to go for. Again, you can start this freshman year, you can start this junior year, but it's never too early to get prepared there. Another section of the Common App is the activities section. So this is where you're going to report the activities and experiences that help colleges better understand your life outside of the classroom. So these activities could be high school related programs or clubs that you participate in, or it could just be things that you participate in outside of school. So arts, music, community engagements, community service, sports, hobbies, working, volunteering, all of that can be submitted and reported under the activities section. You can report up to 10 activities, but with that, you're going to have to estimate the amount of time spent in each activity as well. So this is another screenshot of what that looks like. So on the right-hand side where you see the activity type, that's where you'd click if you played, like right there, you see a varsity sport, volleyball. Then you're going to go down into a little bit more. Did you have a leadership position? Were you a captain on the team? You're going to describe the activity in less than 150 characters. Did you participate in all grades in high school? Just a few? The timing of the participation, was it during the school year? Was it during school break? Was it all year? How many hours per week did you participate in this activity? And how many weeks out of the year were spent related to this activity? And do you intend to participate in a similar activity in college? This gives the college an idea of what you'd be involved in, what clubs, organizations they think would be a good fit for you, but also just how you would, merge into their community. A question I get a lot related to the activity section is, how do I rank them? Should it be what I think the college thinks is the best, or should it be what I enjoy as number one, and then go down from there? And there is no right answer to that. Every college views this section completely differently. So rank it the way you want to rank it. What you're most passionate about could be number one, and then you work your way down there, or what you want to see. But you can only report 10 activities max. So make sure that if you have more than 10 activities, you narrow it down to the 10 that you feel most confident in. Standardized test.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is this the same presentation you gave yesterday? Or are you going to go into more Naviance integration?
Yesterday I did give a presentation yesterday. Were you on that call?
Yes, I think it was, or wait, I don't know which high school it was for, but it was a very similar presentation to this one.
Yes. Yes, it's the same presentation.
I see. Thank you.
Yep. So good question about the Naviance integration. If there's a question at the end, I can talk about that as well. But back to standardized tests. So students can self-report their test scores to the colleges. So you can do SAT or SATs, your AP, your Cambridge, your SAT subject tests. All of that is self-reported in your application. So another little screenshot there. But a fun fact is that 950, well, really over 950 colleges now, do not require SAT or SAT test scores. They may be optional or they don't require them at all. So that opens up the door a lot too. If you don't feel like you're a good test taker, don't have a good score, and feel that you're not going to be competitive, it's completely optional for most of the schools on our application. And when you explore a college on our platform on that Find a College tab, you will be able to see what colleges require them and what ones don't. It would also be in the application as well under this section here, My Colleges. So the My Colleges tab includes all of the information and requirements each college on your list requires from you, but it also has all the colleges that you've added to your list that you are interested in applying to. So you'll see here under Amherst College, each section has its own questions. There could just be 1 or 2 things under each. There could be 10 things. And this is in addition to your Common App application. So for example, the Amherst College their application that they're asking for, they have a few additional questions. They want to know your recommenders and FERPA. And they want you to review and submit your Common App application a little bit more. And it also looks like they have a question for a separate writing supplement. So this is something to note too, as you're going through that process of how many essays or application questions you're going to have to answer through this. Because yes, you already submitted or you've already completed your Common App essay, but this may be completely different and maybe a school-related question. It could be something similar, but every institution is different. But all of this information will be here on your My Colleges tab listed out. Now we're going to talk about the different recommender types. So I want to stress this now. I'll probably say it before the slide goes too. But when you're adding a recommender, whether it's a counselor, teacher, advisor, or other, no one can see your application, your account. No one can submit anything on your behalf until you invite your recommenders. That's very, very important. So through the application, again, it's going to step-by-step process that would just say if you wanted to invite a recommender type, whether it's your counselor or teacher, you're going to add their email. You're going to submit their email, make sure it's correct, and then they're going to get an email saying that you've been added to so-and-so's Common App account. At that point in time, they can accept it and then have access to see your account, to see the progress or submit letter of recommendations that we'll talk about in 2 seconds. But very important to know that nobody can help you submit anything or see your progress until you invite them to be a part of your Common App account and application. So for a counselor, the counselor would complete your school forms and send in your transcripts. 40% of the colleges and universities require a letter of recommendation from a counselor. And then your counselor can also view the completion progress and get PDF copies of your application with your permission. A teacher can also complete evaluations and write letter of recommendations. This is required 34% of the time, but you can have no more than 2. Other recommenders are an optional thing that you can add on to your application. So this could be someone that knows you outside of high school, someone that you are employed with, a family member, a coach, someone who can speak on your behalf. Maybe they saw you grow up from a little kid to where you are today. And that's totally fine. These can be in forms of a letter or whatever. Your friend could even potentially write a letter of recommendation for you, serve as another recommender. Don't recommend that, but it is an option. So the other recommender opens up the door there. And then your advisor or a advisor is also another optional recommender that you can add, where you can invite up to 3 advisors. And advisors do not submit any forms. They're just kind of there to help, see your completion progress and see the student's application and just help you out on the back end there. So those are the different types of recommenders. Tools you can use. So we're going to talk about a bunch of the Common App resources and tools that are available to you. Again, like I said, everyone just thinks of Common App as an application, but we're much more, and we provide a lot of resources for you. Some of the best ones here are on our YouTube page, the video tutorials. So you'll see some of them here, but we have more than just this. So if you're going through the first year application for the first time and you want to see that walkthrough, this is where we're going to bring you to. We're going to have our coworker Amani on the top left there walk you through that application. That's about a 30-minute video where Amani pretends to apply to college. He goes step by step from creating an account all the way through to submitting an application and everything in between there. So if you wanted to see that or have that up as you go through your application process, highly recommend that. That is our most detailed application walkthrough. We also have one for transfer students. If you have more questions about the activity section, how to organize them, what to write, what to brainstorm, we also have a video that kind of breaks down the activity section and talks about how to organize that and how to prepare for that section. We also have a video that breaks down all of our essay prompts. So if you're trying to decide which one to write, this may help you there, or just give you a little bit more idea of what matters to you. How do you want to tell your story? And we also have a video about all of the frequently asked questions, which you can also find on the website or the Solutions Center. So bunch of videos there. All you have to do is go to YouTube and type in Common App, and these videos will pop up for you. All right. Other website resources here we have Why College Matters. We have grade level checklists that you can find on commonapp.org/plan. An application guide, a dictionary for the application that's similar to the Pathfinder, but focuses more on application definitions for Common App, and then family resources. So we have a bunch of paying for college resources, financial aid resources, and just planning resources as well. You'll see on the right, you'll see the telling your story document. That is the resource that helps you figure out your college essay, outline what you're going to write, and just kind of break down the who, what, why, the when, what you're going to think about, what you're asking yourself, and break down what do you want the college to know about you. So another free resource there to help you with your Common App essay. I mentioned this briefly, the paying for college resources. There's been a lot of changes to FAFSA over the past year. So we enhanced our paying for college page as well to include up-to-date resources for you. So there's a bunch of FAFSA information there, like going to the Federal Student Aid YouTube resources, watch those videos, view those websites for all the information they have. But we also have a partnership with a tool called the Wyatt tool, which is a bot that you can text any FAFSA related questions to, and it will answer your questions. If it doesn't answer your questions, it will connect you to someone who can. So that's a really cool free resource to help you with your financial planning and preparing for the FAFSA. Family and student planning resources as well. So talking about budget, talking about the net price calculator. We have a bunch of scholarship opportunities and information there as well with some of our partners or where else you can find them. And then more information on the Common App fee waiver if you're still interested in that. Or you may say, click no, but you end up figuring out that you do qualify. How do you go about, switching that and making sure that your fees are waived? And we have a bunch more resources as well, but these are just some that we like to highlight. Here, these are outdated, but this is what was done over the past year, so earlier this spring, where we had different sessions relating to completing your FAFSA, how to read your financial aid offer and how to make that decision, and then just an overall Affording College 101 webinar. So while the live sessions, are dated, all of these are also recorded on our Common Apps YouTube page. They're about 45 minutes to an hour each, and highly recommend watching all of these because one of our partners, USDrive, really broke down all of this information, provided a bunch of resources, a bunch of websites to visit to help you with this process, because it can become a lot, and these presentations did break it down pretty simply. I know I talked about USDrive, but this is a one-to-one virtual mentorship that we provide to all of the applicants. So if you selected yes for a fee waiver, if you're eligible for a fee waiver, you are eligible for free one-to-one virtual mentorship with our partner USDrive. So you can connect with them to get assistance on your college application. They also help you with financial aid for college after you've enrolled, talking about affordability, how to have those conversations with your parents or those that are going to be involved in the process, creating time management plan and other strategies. They help you kind of break that down and organize your time to make you feel more prepared so you're not doing everything at the last minute. But they'll also help you prepare for any internships or jobs, whether it's on campus or off campus. So this is a free 100% virtual mentorship that we provide for you here with our partner UStrive. So you can find out more on our website or at ustrive.com. But again, it's just clicking the yes or no if you're interested. I highly recommend clicking yes in the beginning because you can always say, you know what, I just want to pause this for now. I'll reach back out. But this is a free mentorship available to you. So why not, take a meeting, see if it's a good fit for you, and decide from there. Common App has 24/7 support too. So I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you all at once and talking about a lot. But at any time, if you have any questions, you can go to our Student Solution Center on the website, and we have a bunch of popular FAQs. So your answer is probably already answered somewhere there, but you can search that in the search bar. But if it's not there, you can submit a question or any known issues. Like if you're doing the application right, but it's not letting you submit a PDF document or your transcript or things like that. There could be a little glitch. That happens sometimes, and that's okay. But we have people there 24/7 to help you. So you may get an answer in 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that all of that is working for you. But another great resource to have there, and just know that we're always there to help. And lastly, want to talk about Better Make Room and Reach Higher as well. So Common App partnered with Better Make Room and Reach Higher in 2019. So Better Make Room and Reach Higher was started by Michelle Obama when she was First Lady in the White House. It's an education initiative that helps students, find education post high school, and particularly first generation, low income students, to make sure that they know the available resources and tips, and just the people out there that are there to help them for free, to make sure that they have all the opportunities available to them to make an informed decision, to have a great life, and to have a great educational journey. So we partner with them, and you can follow them on social media as well. Here you can find all the Common App, Reach Higher, and Better Make Room social media handles. And I know Twitter is now X, but all of these are here for you, where we post resources, we post paying for college information, we post reminders and things like that. So it does not hurt to follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. You'll find a lot of day in the life videos from college students we work with day to day, to kind of give you an insight of what to expect. So they could be a first year, they could be applying for college for the first time, or they could be in senior in college, but they give advice to you on how to best approach different scenarios and situations. And with that being said, that is all I have for you today, and I'll stop sharing my screen so I can see everybody and answer some questions.
So I know that there were, excuse me, some questions coming up in the chat about Naviance integration. Hold on one second, excuse me. So if anybody wants to come off, I'm going to turn the recording off because we don't want your name on the recording. But if you want to come off, you're mute and ask your specific questions, now is the time to do that.